I've lived in Northwest Arkansas like my whole entire life. I have 6 younger siblings, which are pretty much my whole world. So I've always been like the big sister, kind of like the sister mom kind of figure. I got my bachelor's in psychology, and then I came straight from undergrad in Fayetteville to law school in Fayetteville, and so that's where I'm at right now, is in my final year of law school in Fayetteville. So the first time that I ended up at the CAC was in the 2nd grade. At that time, what had happened was I had a sleepover at a friend's house, and we were all watching this romantic scene on television. I was really intent on explaining them, like to my other 8-year-old friends, that it was really normal for these people to be like kissing and touching and like doing the things that they were doing on this movie. I mean, it had to be normal, I thought, because like my cousins did those things to me all the time. One of my friends told her older sister, who told her mom, and that mom made a call that ended with me at the CAC for my first ever forensic interview. I actually denied all of the accusations that had been made against my abusers, and I ended up, right back in the same position that I had been in. Even though in that first interview I had denied that anything had happened, it was the first time that I ever felt like maybe what was happening shouldn't be happening. That wasn't a conversation that I had ever had with a family member before. After about 4 years of experiencing sexual abuse from them, that kind of faded out. In March of 2008, I was 14, and I ended up at the hospital in Rogers, where I had been rushed by ambulance after being raped by my mom's boyfriend. That was really when my life and my family's life kind of all fell apart. At the time, I still hadn't disclosed or talked with my family at all about the years of sexual abuse I experienced whenever I was little. But while I was at the hospital, Natalie came, and that was the first time that I ever met her. She showed up at my hospital bedside in the middle of the night. There's really no way to describe how it felt to meet her and to have her there, but I can definitely say that night would have been so much worse without her. She had this calming effect throughout the whole thing. We came from the hospital to the CAC, where Natalie performed a rape crisis examination on me. It was to her and during that examination that for the first time I ever admitted to the years of sexual abuse that I had experienced as a child. I can't really tell you why I was able to tell her that night. If there was ever a place that I was going to be safe to tell it to, if I was ever going to have that chance, it was going to be in that moment. I never expected or could have predicted the relationship that came out of that one night. It started something that influenced pretty much every decision I made as far as choosing a career or choosing the type of person that I wanted to be from there on out. My family would come up with any excuse possible to say that we couldn't make it, or I didn't need to be here, or they just didn't want anything to do with the center. I was hospitalized in an inpatient mental facility for a couple of weeks. I lived with my rapist actually all the way up until the point of trial. Throughout all of that time, the center never stopped fighting for me. Whenever I did go to court and I did testify, I knew that Natalie was there testifying as well. There were other advocates that were part of my trial. I knew that there were all of these people here, that even when my family hadn't been willing to fight for me, that they had. It was during closing arguments whenever I thought, this is what I want to do with my life, is I want to be able to fight for people just like these people have fought for me. One of the first things I did when I got out of the house was I emailed Natalie, and I just said, you probably don't remember me. You made such an impact on my life that I just wanted to reach out and say thank you. She not only responded, but responded in a way that made me know she actually remembered me, made me feel like what happened to me mattered. I've been able to form, a relationship with her and strengthen my relationship with the center. When I was assaulted again my junior year of college, the center gave me somewhere to go and they gave me support. But what they really gave me then was the reminder that I could live through that. Even though I was an adult and they had no responsibility to help me, they continued to provide me opportunities to grow and heal and figure out who I was. They actually asked me to come back and help mentor a group of teen girls. That opportunity, although I know I was supposed to be providing, some sort of like hope or guidance for those girls, really what it did was it helped me mature and grow as a survivor. Despite what had happened, I had something to offer. Who I was valuable, and those weren't things that I had ever felt. I overdosed in 2015. I ended up being very, very, very involved, like in drugs even after that, and even still now. The center still believes in me, reminds me to believe in myself, and otherwise I don't think that I would be here to be telling this story at all. What they really provide for every kid that walks through their doors is hope that whatever is going on, it doesn't break them, it doesn't make them any less valuable, and that they can live through it and that they can do things like go to law school, put themselves in a position, to fight for people and be a voice for people who a lot of times can't be a voice for themselves.